Good evening, everybody. Unfortunately, it has not been the greatest of day for Ukraine. A lot of information coming up that we'll cover as we go through the news. The after action report, basically. So let's hop right in and get moving on the information. Operational information as of 10 p.m. the 10th of November. It's weird that they changed the date. Am I trying? Yeah. November 10th, 10 p.m. Russian tank that went boom. A little bit of a turret toss, not much. I don't think Russia's putting as much ammunition in the tanks as they did before, so we're not getting big tosses that we saw in the early days of the invasion. The defense forces are directing efforts to disrupt the execution of the Russian invaders' offensive plans and exhaust their combat potential. Since the beginning of the day, there have been 154 combat clashes. The enemy carried out 48 airstrikes. 85 glide bombs were used. 643 kamikaze drones, and carried out 3,632 artillery attacks on the positions of our troops. In the Kharkiv direction, one skirmish continues near Voshchansk. 5 enemy attacks have already been repelled by our defenders in the districts of Staritsa and Voshchansk. The enemy used aviation, the glide bombs, and carried out 3 airstrikes, dropping 4 aircraft bombs in the areas of Kharkiv, Vilcha, and Vilkuvatka. Oh, Vilkuvatka. Okay. Again, we all know, but just so you have a visual reference, Voshchansk, Staritsi, we all know Kharkiv. But let's see if we could find those other settlements that they were talking about. Let me just remind myself of the Vilcha and okay. Yeah, it's really hard to find some of these towns sometimes because it really could be anywhere. Oh, that's a possibility. Either one of those two. Vishanki is here. So over in this area, and Kharkiv itself. Maybe those were ones that fell too soon on their way to Kharkiv. Who knows? The enemy launched 3 attacks on our fortifications in the Kupian direction. At this time, all of them in the districts of Kindrashivka, Zargrovi, and Zeleny Gayu have already been repelled. Cover Limansky because it's right there as well. Limansky direction, Russian troops stormed the positions of the Ukrainian defenders 5 times during the day in Turny, Torsk, and Serebryanka settlements. All enemy attacks are stopped. Kupiansk direction, mostly in this direction and here. Things have calmed down a little bit in this area. Come down here to Limansky and Torsk, Turny, and I don't see the other one offhand. Let me remind myself of the Zeleny Gayu. And Serebryanka. Serebryanka is right here. So this area, and this area. See if we can find that other town they were talking about in the Lemont or Kupiansk direction. I'm not seeing it though. Yeah, I can't see it, but you'll notice that the attacks in this area are pretty light. It's just basically to try and keep troops in this area. If they stop attacking, Ukraine might pull out troops from here and be able to fortify Kursk or Pokrovsk. You scroll up here a little bit so it looks more like I'm looking at the camera instead of down. In the Seversk direction, the defenders of Ukrainian land are restraining the onslaught of the enemy. At the moment, one enemy attack is underway in the area of the settlement of Verkho-Kramansky, and then in the Kramatorsk direction, 3 attempts by the invaders to advance near Stupochny and Chasiv Yar ended in failure. The enemy launched airstrikes in the area of Chasiv Yar and Sloviansk. So Zervisk, this is the town where one attack happened, and then of course Chasiv Yar and Stupochny, and see if I could find the Sloviansk. Oh, do they mean Sloviansk? Yeah, Sloviansk. Okay, I read that wrong, and so they launched an airstrike at Sloviansk itself. So sorry for bungling that one. That was my bad. In the Toretsk direction, occupiers stormed the Toretsk and Serebryanka districts 14 times today. There, as well as in the vicinity of Serebryanka, enemy aviation was active. Fighting continues in 6 locations. You can see Toretsk is starting to heat up by the number of attacks in this area. Serebryanka, Toretsk, and really the only other area to watch out for is Sukhbalka here. But they have good defenses in this area. Ukraine has good defense lines in this area. And a nice paved supply road to help them out. I have my dog attacking me for attention. Go get it. Scroll up again. And here we get to Pokrovsk direction. The enemy is intensively attacking Ukrainian defenders in the Pokrovsk direction. During the day, he carried out a total of 35 assault and offensive operations. Russian occupiers are most active in the areas of Mirolubivka, Prominia, Horivka, Saladov, Lysivka, Sukoyar, and Petrivka. 9 clashes in the direction are still ongoing. The enemy used aviation means of destruction in the areas of the settlements of Lysivka, Kolotinivka, Sukobalka, Alexandropol. According to preliminary calculations, today our soldiers eliminated 145 and injured 204 occupiers. 2 units of mobile equipment, 2 UAV control points, a buggy, and a quad bike were destroyed. 2 automobiles, 1 howitzer, and a quad bike were also damaged. A lot going on. Again, Sukobalka was the one I just said. Kalinova was another airstrike. Mirolubivka, Promin, of course, Pokrovsk and Mirnograd, Sukoyar, Lysivka, Petrivka, Horivka. So basically, all along this front is Russia is pushing against Ukraine. At this time of day, there are 46 clashes in the Kharkiv direction. Enemy attacks were repelled by our soldiers near the settlements of Ilinka, Zovdevhenka, Novoseladivka, Novodonivka, Stonsivka, Maximilianivka, Antonivka, Delaney, and Katerinivka. Same names we all seem to say again and again day after day. 4 attacks were ongoing. The occupiers dropped anti-aircraft missiles in the areas of Kharkova, Romanivka, and Dachny settlements. And that's I think that one's a new one. I'll have to find that one. And of course, we all know Kharkov and Kharkiv, Ilinka, Novoseladivka, Novodonivka, Delaney. Dachny is here, so they're dropping glide bombs behind enemy or behind Ukrainian lines. Romanivka, Ilinka, Katerinivka, and Antonivka. Trudov is considered part of the next area, but what I want to talk about is there was a lot of reports today that Russia tried to blow up this dam. They damaged it. It is not a catastrophic failure like what happened in over in, I can't remember the name of that dam, but over by Kherson. Shoot, I still can't remember the name of the dam. So it's not a catastrophic failure. There was water released, and let's see if I can find that city they're talking about. Here we go. There's reports that in this area, water levels have risen by over a meter, a little more than a yard. So but no houses have been flooded yet. And of course, oh, that went too fast. Holy crap. So there we go. So this basin runs down through here, and basically makes its way down to the Dnieper River. Long way to go, but thankfully flooding is not that bad yet. It looks like there's a lot of wetlands right here to absorb a lot of that water, thankfully. But yeah, latest report is it's damaged. It is leaking water, but it wasn't a catastrophic failure of the dam, which is amazing news. But yeah, Russia's going after water, electrical, anything to make life hard for civilians. That's Russia for you. Oh, she left me alone. That was one of the bad news that popped up for today. In the Vermika direction, the enemy tried 13 times to break through to Trudovi, Konstantinopolski, Upenskiva, Mariivka, but our courageous defenders stood in the way of this. 8 attacks have been repelled. At the same time, the enemy actively used aviation means of destruction in the areas of Andriivka, Velika Novoselika, Novodanrika, and Zeleny Poli settlements. So that's a lot to go through. So let me just Konstantinopolski, Upenskia, Trudovi, and Maximivka is here. Air bomb, you said glide bombs in this area. What were the other ones? Velika Novoselika, Zeleny Pol. Okay, so Velika Novoselivka, Makriivka, and Zeleny Pol is here. I'm not sure if that's Pol or Pole, or I'll have to look that one up. In the Odorhiv direction, the occupiers twice tried to break through our defenses in the areas of Novoandrivka and Malatokmaka, and at the same time launched an airstrike on Timurivka. Come over here towards Odorhiv, Novodenlika, Malatokmika. Let's see if I could find. Just remind myself of the Timurivka. I don't see it offhand. So I don't see the city where they did the air bomb, the glide bomb at offhand. So we'll just continue on to the Dnieper direction. Operational situation has not changed significantly. The enemy conducted 7 unsuccessful assaults. As of yesterday, there were no significant changes in the situation in other directions. This is going to change tomorrow. For tomorrow's report, because there are reports coming out right now about a 2-prong attack by Russia from Novoivanenko towards the settlement, and then from here this way with the aid of North Korean troops. And let me just pull up part of one video, and so Tasil River. Let me see if I could. I don't know where this river is, but just go back a little bit. You know, little rubber dinghies. That's what Russia's trying to cross the river with. And of course, artillery shells come in. And I'm going to stop it there because it shows stuff that YouTube will get mad at. So yeah. So there's one part of infantry trying to cross, and then fighters of the 95th Mechanized Assault Brigade destroy Russian Marines from the 810th Brigade in the Kursk region. During 2 days of the assault, the enemy lost 28 pieces of equipment and more than 100 personnel were lost. Another 100 Russians were seriously injured. They failed again. They failed Putin yet again, and Putin failed Russia, is the comment for this video. Let me skip past that. Yeah, this is Russia trying to push in. And I bet we could geolocate this location with the waterway and the road right there. And I see the troops moving down here, running back as they bring up more equipment. Yeah, this area would be pretty easy to geolocate. The town back here, the curved road that comes along the reservoir. All right, I'm going to stop it there because the rest of that is not very YouTube friendly. Let me pull up the speech from Zelensky.
Сьогодні ранок. Бажаю здоров'я, шановні українці, українки. Коротко про сьогодні ранок. Детальна доповідь головкома Сирського, фронт. Передусім це наш Курахівський напрямок, інші напрямки також на Донеччині. Уважно щодо Курської операції. Там наші хлопці стримують достатньо значне угруповання російських військ, 50 тисяч особового складу.
I kind of want to pause this here. They're talking about the 50,000 occupiers that are set up to engage and have started engaging in the Kursk region. This battle has already started.
Які завдяки Курській операції не можуть бути направлені на інші напрямки ударів Росії на нашій території. Дуже цінуємо хоробрість всіх наших воїнів, кожного підрозділу, який задіяний в цих боях. Також я хочу відзначити всі наші сили, які завдають ударів по російським базам, логістиці, тилам. Удари наших сил по російських арсеналах знизили кількість артилерії, яку застосовує окупант. Це помітно на фронті. Саме тому ми потребуємо далекобійних рішень від партнерів, від Америки, від Британії, від Німеччини. Це те, що життєво необхідно. Чим далі можуть бити наявні у нас ракети, наші дрони, тим менше реальної бойової сили буде у Росії. Провів сьогодні ставку. Кілька питань було. Основне – захист нашого неба. Є непогані результати у зміцненні ППО і будемо нарощувати відповідний досвід. Ми готуємо подальше організаційне, технічне посилення системи мобільних вогневих груп, а також роботи з дронами. Очевидний пріоритет. Була сьогодні зустріч з керівником європейської дипломатії Борелем. Наші відносини з Європейським Союзом, наша взаємодія. Дуже важлива новина. До кінця року європейські партнери мають встигнути повністю реалізувати ініціативу з постачання Україні 1 мільйона снарядів для нашої артилерії. Сьогодні ж провів зустріч з міністром оборони Естонії. Нещодавно через російський удар шахедами по Києву був пошкоджений будинок, в якому розташована резиденція посла Естонії в Україні. Це один з численних доказів того, що нам потрібне значне посилення не лише захисту від російського терору, але й тиску на Росію заради обмеження її воєнного виробництва. Кожен шахед, кожна ракета, які використовує Росія, це в основі своїй компоненти, які постачаються в обхід санкцій. В наступному санкційному пакеті Європейського Союзу важливо ударити, зокрема, по схемах обходу санкцій. Всі, хто продовжує таку торгівлю з Росією, повинні чітко розуміти наслідки. Мир завдяки силі – це в тому числі завдяки силі санкцій. Щойно говорив з президентом Польщі Анджеєм Дудою, привітав Анджея і весь польський народ з Днем Незалежності. Україна вдячна за всю підтримку Польщі від перших днів повномасштабної війни і по сьогодні. Незалежність і для України, і для Польщі – це сила, яка зміцнює обидва наші народи, яка може бути на 100% ефективною тільки у нашій співпраці, тільки у підтримці один одного. Польща, дякую і вітаю тебе. Дякую всім, хто допомагає Україні. Слава нашим людям, слава Україні.
Героям слава.
Бажаю здоров'я.
Talking about the 50,000 Russian troops, Russian and Korean troops in Kursk. Again, talked about getting more air defense supplies from Russia, or more air defense supplies from partners to defend against Russian strikes in Ukraine, against the civilians. And straight out calls America out on not allowing them to use long-range missiles into Russia to take out more ammunition. Go back here and 3,600 artillery strikes. That's all Russia can do now. It sounds like a lot, and it is a lot of artillery strikes every day. But a year ago, Russia was doing 10 to 15,000 artillery strikes a day. So this is just proof in the pudding of how effective these drone strikes by Ukraine into Russia's supply depots has been. A 5 times reduction in the number of artillery strikes. The proof's in the pudding. Right there it is. And I just realized I forgot to go through the celebration of the units. So let's go back to that right now. Today we will celebrate the Ukrainian soldiers from the 110th Separate Territorial Defense Brigade and the 124th Separate Territorial Defense Brigade, who are steadfastly holding back the onslaught of overwhelming enemy forces on the Eastern Front. Let's beat the enemy and bring our victory closer. And again, glory to Ukraine. Heroям slava. So yeah. And I hate to say this, but I love the fact that Zelensky does a speech pretty much every day, addressing the people, letting them know what's going on. Not some long-winded 3-hour rally, just, a short 3.5 minute video to let people know what's going on. I admire that. Air alerts in Ukraine right now. Sumy has been having an air alert for 8 hours 30 minutes. Chernihiv 6 hours 4 minutes. Kyiv Oblast 5 hours 9 minutes. Kyiv City 3 hours 27 minutes. Cherkasky 5 hours 40 minutes. Poltava 6 hours 28 minutes. And while I'm going through this, I kind of want to point out, look at the time it started. So this started at 10:15 Ukraine time last night for them. And it's been going for 6 hours. Almost the entire time that you'd be sleeping. Or like here, 8 hours. An entire night of sleep gone in Sumy region. Anyways, Poltava 2 hours 28, or excuse me, 6 hours 29 minutes now. Kharkiv 7 hours 52 minutes. Donetsk for an hour. Zaporizhia 52 minutes. Dnipropetrovsk 7 hours 7 minutes. Kivrograd 6 hours 18 minutes. Can you imagine spending your entire night under threat of attack by drones? I was in Kyiv City, and we had maybe 3 air alerts a day, a week, is what I meant to say. And maybe a total time under air alert of an hour between those 3 alerts. And now, yesterday for them, today for us, 39 minutes, 26 minutes, 2 hours, 4 minutes, 4 hours, 24 minutes. So 7 hours, 8 hours under air alert a day. So they had a little bit of a break on the 10th. But again, 4 hours, 4 minutes, 28 minutes, an hour, 9 hours, 56 minutes on November 7th. Ukraine is spending its nights under threat of the Shahed drones. Now, of course, remember the Shaheeds are provided by Iran. Hey, Trump, Shaheeds are provided by Iran, the same people that sent 3 people to kill you. Do something about that. Sorry, let me get caught up with chat while the air alert map is up here. Oh, you guys have been busy today. So, of course, Andrew Petrie, thank you for being here. I appreciate you keeping an eye on chat while I'm covering the news. Of course, Ronnie Vakin, good to see you. KKGGs, McPigeon, Kurt, always good to see you. Slow Evil, good to have you here. Um, yeah, I wish there was something I could do more. Um, but this is me my doing more. Yeah, I wasn't doing the news update. I wasn't covering the war. I was covering Ukraine, like what I thought of it, lifestyle of it was there, and I thought that was enough. But then when I came back, I saw people start moving away from Ukraine news and what's going on there, and covering the stuff happening in Tel Aviv and Israel, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's. But even like on the busiest day in Israel, they're talking about 100 missiles being launched by aircraft from or 100 missiles being launched by Iran into Israel. Okay, well, there's glide bombs, there's kamikaze drones. That's what, 1/20th of what's going on every day in Ukraine. It just didn't seem right to me that we're putting so much attention on Israel. And don't get me wrong, that is not really great what's happening there, but it's it's only been going on a short while. This has been going on for almost 1,000 days, and you're talking, even if at this low number of artillery strikes, I mean, that's just crazy number. You know, yeah, at 1,000 days at this level, and you're talking about 3,600,000 artillery strikes in this war, and we know that number's higher because it wasn't until the last couple months that this number dropped. Kamikaze drones, this number has dropped dramatically since the beginning of even a year ago. Um, so they're not using as many missiles now. They're using glide bombs and kamikazes. That's the other news is that, well, this is all drones, air alerts from drones. Russia hasn't been using its missiles. What are they saving up for? Are they saving up? That's another question. Yeah, it's scary. Let's see. Um, yeah, China has been the low wage like place in the world for a long time, but it is not anymore. China's labor cost is higher than Mexico right now. The only reason why China is even a player anymore is because all the cost of building the factories in China. If it wasn't for that sunk cost into those factories, China wouldn't even be a player anymore. Their labor costs have just gone up too high. India might be the new up and coming production place because their labor costs are still low. Oh, you guys have been busy in chat saying hi to each other. I love that. I love that we're all friends here and all communicate with each other. Um, there is Ronnie back and asked, does anybody know where to get components? Um, I know how to solder and in series production. The only thing I could say is um, check out the Volunteer Ukraine website. And I'll actually pull this up here. Um, they have an option here, volunteering opportunities, and they only list a couple on their main page, but there's so many things, and it links to so many others. Um, this is one of the volunteer organizations I work with, Engine. Um, free English lessons for Ukrainians. I've actually been doing it for 2.5 years now. And one-on-one English practice sessions. You don't need a degree. You don't need anything like that. You just sit there and chat with somebody in Ukraine. Easy way to volunteer. Doesn't cost you anything, just time. And your 3 of my former students in Engine have been 2 of them have been promoted and received even higher pay grade, and the extra money that they're earning is they donate to ZCU. So yeah, I can't donate as much as other people, but through helping Ukrainians learn English better, I've helped other people make more money so they can donate more. So that I count that too. um, the third one hasn't gotten promoted because they're trying to work out a thing where he can move out of Ukraine and go to Warsaw and become the regional EU director for logistics. So that's the only reason why he hasn't been promoted yet. Repair Together. This is another one I did, but I did it in Kiev. Pull up a chair and do camo netting. And little as much as you want, but you kind of have to be there for that. But I know Balakun is another English, teach English to Ukrainians. But I can't seem to find it right now. I know there's one in here that does like drone work, and they tell you where to source the materials and what they need and what things to print. So yeah, if you just even want to go to Lviv, you can go and make camo netting for the troops. It's just a very much needed thing. A lot of times they have to drive off, and this is the last thing on their mind. So that needs to get replaced all the time. But anyways, you can go through here, and if they don't know the answer, they can point you to someone who does. Brave to Rebuild. this is an amazing organization. They go out and clean up damage from Russian missiles, drones, and rockets, and help rebuild homes. That one kind of hits close to home for me today, because yesterday, well, still today for us, but yesterday for Ukraine, one of the houses that I helped a family move into got hit with a drone, and we're working with Brave to Rebuild to go out and fix the home for them. Dorobrat's another rebuilding one. Building Ukraine Together is another one. I don't see the drone one anymore. They rotate these out. By who needs work, but like if you want to work with dogs, there you go. But this would be one place to start. Very good resource. You know, break it down by what you want to do. You can't do rebuilding, but you can do meal prep. There you go. You can't go to Ukraine. There's a remote. So yeah, if you really want to know how to help Ukraine more, here's one good place to start. I have to look up that drone group I was in contact with, and I'll get that information and send it out. Uh, Flanders Fields, BBS lurking, K-Bell, obviously, good to see you. Yes, thank you, Andrew, for modding. I really appreciate you. You do not believe how much of a load off my mind it is having somebody watching chat for trolls while I'm doing the stream. It takes a lot off my mind. So thank you so much. It could be that, but okay, KKGG says, ask, you don't think the orcs are saving up their missiles to take out Ukrainian power stations during the winter? I'm sure they are saving up what they can. What I'm not sure of is how many missiles they are able to produce anymore, because a couple weeks ago Ukraine sent drones to take out the rocket fuel production plant in Tula, and before, or it was around the same time, I can't remember if it was before or just after the rocket fuel plant, they took out a gun cotton plant that is, it's a precursor to explosives. So I don't know if how much damage was done to that, how much Russia was able to keep production up, how much was in stockpiles. So it could be that they can't, it could be simply that they're building the missiles, but they can't put fuel in them. Or they could have tons of fuel, but they don't have the explosives to put in them. It could be, there's so many variables. I don't want to even think about guessing what's going on. Even without the missiles, my friends in Kyiv were without power for 6 hours today. So they're already trying to go after the power infrastructure. Okay, I missed some here. I've thought about doing my own Discord, Mr. Squiggle. I am trying to do research on how to set it up. So if I ping out a stream, it goes to only the people that sign up to receive pings instead of everybody on the server. Because before I started the stream, I reset all the pings I got from Discord, and 13 pings already since then. Yeah, pings. I'm really leery of pings. I don't. I know it's something that people know how to deal with, but I feel bad sending out pings. I don't like to do it. That's why other people decided to do it for me, and I appreciate them so much. It's just a thing for me. So I'm trying to figure that out. As soon as I can figure that out, I probably will set up my own Discord. Yeah. I'm catching a little bit of what you guys are talking about. Oh, okay. I see what you guys are talking about now. You're talking about the flags that Greg sends out, and yeah, it's a reminder. Let's see, so I can show these little wooden hearts. I'm cutting them out, and I got a little wood burning tool here, and I sit there and burn the trident on one side and put the outline of Ukraine on the other side. I send these out to people who support my Give Again initiative in Ukraine. I've never asked for help. I haven't even given out the email address that I get take donations at, but people still ask, and well, send it out. I send one of these out, and it's literally pennies worth of wood, but it's a thank you. It's something they can hold in their hand and say, I've helped. I mean, no more so than these things. When you get down to it, these don't mean anything that other than the fabric. But I've helped. That's why people have the walls full of these patches. Not about bragging. It's a reminder that you've done something to help. It's more than. There's a lot of people out there that, oh yeah, for Ukraine, and then go off and spend $800 at the bar to be, to impress some girl or whatever. When that $800 could have bought a drone or a generator or stuff like that. It doesn't have to be some monumental thing. Just a token to show appreciation. And sometimes that's really hard to figure out what to do. Um, for me doing these little hearts, um, I've been told, oh, you should sell those as a fundraiser. It's like, okay, no matter, I tell you right now, if I put these out as a fundraiser for $5 a piece, I'm gonna get yelled at by one person saying that's too low, another person saying $5 for a little piece of wood, what a ripoff. And yeah, you can't win when you're trying to raise money. It's it's very demanding. It's very personal, and it's very. It takes a very special person to be able to sit there and go and ask people for money. And unfortunately, a lot of times it's not people that are using that money for the right purposes. And I'm sure you guys all know who someone that applies to. Sally, you'll have to send me a picture of what you're sewing. Yeah, $800 at a bar, KK. There's a neighbor of mine. Um, says he has his family's from Ukraine and he supports them, and uh, when I came back, I was like, yeah, I went there, talked to this guy, talked to and when I get my patches, I sit there and show them, oh, look at my new patch I just got from 69 Sniffing Brigade, or from 3rd Assault, and he doesn't have a patch, he doesn't have a flag, he doesn't have any of that, but was just bragging to me that, oh, he went out and partied with his friends and picked up the bill, and it was like an $845 bill at the bar. But can't donate $100 to get a patch. So it is what it is. There's all types in the world, and you can't change everybody. You can't. It is what it is. Moving on. Mass media, traditional news. It gets really funny right off the top. Russia denies Trump call with Putin urging restraint in Ukraine. Right next to stories about the Trump talk to Putin, where he told Russia not to escalate in Ukraine. Yeah, double talk right from the two horses' mouths. Or maybe one's the horse's mouth and the other one's the other end, but which one's the head and which one's the tail? Western parts in Russia decoy drone for fooling air defenses. And of course, paywall. But yeah, this is like a Shaheed. It's meant to draw fire, and apparently there's Western made parts in building those. Sanctions aren't being enforced. Too many governments out there don't have a pair and won't stand up to Russia. I know like several countries that their imports and exports have increased tenfold, and it's all importing stuff that Russia needs and exporting it out to Russia. So yeah, greed over morals, I guess. Um, so again, reports about the 50,000 troops in Kurt's region. Oh, if this is true, borrow a phrase from Mercado. Big if true. Putin gives Trump massive middle finger days after warning on Ukraine. Oh, I gotta read this, but I need to find something that is not a paywall. Paywall. Washington Post is definitely a paywall. Try the New Republic. The New Republic, no paywall. Hold on, I gotta take a drink and settle in for this because I have a feeling I'm going to be smiling a lot in this story. Uh, okay, everybody settled in. Less than a week after being elected to a second term, President-elect Trump does not. Okay, maybe next time. Does not appear to be the international strong arm he claimed to be. Russian President Putin has already waltzed right past a pointed warning from the MAGA leader, sending tens of thousands of soldiers to the Ukrainian war front after Trump told him not to escalate the situation. Ukraine's top military commander Syrsky told NBC News that Russian forces are trying to dislodge our troops and advance deep into territory we control in Kursk, a city in southwestern Russia that borders Ukraine. Ukrainian forces continue to hold back a nearly 50,000 strong enemy group. Ukraine has warned of a looming counteroffensive in the embattled region for weeks. Among Russia's allies on the front line include more than 10,000 North Korean soldiers. Pentagon confirmed that, who are engaging in combat against Ukrainian militaries. There are losses. This is a fact. So we all know that before. Trump has spoken with Putin over the phone on Thursday, reportedly advising the foreign leader not to escalate the war, reminding Putin of America's military capabilities in Europe. Russia immediately turned its back on the discussion, claiming that the report was pure fiction. One of Trump's biggest and boldest campaign promises was that he could immediately end the Russian invasion of Ukraine, though his philosophy on how to achieve this was suspiciously scant of details, and at times veered toward solutions that would invariably aid Russia. Trump's advisors envisioned that the peace talks, which Trump promised to facilitate upon winning in November, would also quietly include Ukraine succeeding part of the country that is currently occupied by Russia. Yeah, we all know this, most Americans realize this, that Trump is an ego. And Putin sending in troops and stories like this is going to hurt Trump's ego. And Trump's the type of person that doesn't let things roll off his back. He's gonna be pissed about this, and I think that's good news for Ukraine. But that made me smile a little. Still going on about Trump Jr. mocking Zelensky. yeah, 38 days before your allowance runs out is what he was said. Just total entitled prick. So last minute aid to Ukraine still. There we go. U.S. to ship over 500 Patriot and NASAMS air defense missiles to Ukraine. Of course, Wall Street Journal. So, yeah, this is promises. I'll give Biden a round of applause when it actually ships and arrives in Ukraine. But it's good that he's promising this, and hopefully he comes through. Okay. What is Finlandization model? Yeah. And, Russia sent 2 of their soldiers to jail that committed a war crime in Ukraine, and they're still bolstering that. So most of that we've already covered. Let me pull this up off screen. Let you guys look at that while I pull this up, but I'm going to do something I normally wouldn't do. And show you some content from another channel here on YouTube.
Today there
So some of you know this channel, some of you don't, I'm sure. Reporting from Ukraine, English channel. It's a short video, 4 minutes, but we're not going to watch the whole thing. Talking about Russia's delve into Kursk, 2 attack fronts in the Ukrainian defenders. But show some of the video, but this is where I wanted to show you guys. Of course, check out the full video. Links in the chat.
This discovery implies the gradual inclusion of North Korean soldiers in Russian storming operations, as their numbers of deployed fighters are slowly growing in Kursk.
So those are North Korean weapons found in Kursk. Now there's no denying it. I mean, brand new. Looks like it's never even been fired. They're finding those in Kursk, so proof positive that they're fighting North Korean soldiers in Kursk. So yeah, reporting from Ukraine. I love this channel. Very short, precise news updates, and gives a quick, fast rundown. I try to do the same, but there's a lot of information sometimes. I'm looking at a little bit over an hour right now myself, but I wanted to show you guys this right here. I've been trying to find some video of the Korokovo Reservoir, but so far I have not been able to see anything and have not received anything. So if you guys come across a video, DM it to me on Discord, at me, whatever you need to do. I would love to see firsthand what actually happened here. But that's all I have for today. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, I forgot again. Blue, you're supposed to be here to remind me. So if you guys see Blue, tell him he needs to start showing up to remind me to do this. I'm picking on you, Blue. I know life comes first, but Russian losses for November 11th, 2024. Day 992 of the Russians' invasion of Ukraine. 1,770 personnel today. I believe that's a new record by 30 casualties. 4 more tanks for a total of 920. Okay, that was a brain fart right there. For a total of 9,253. 40 APVs for a total of 18,766. 34 artillery systems for a total of 20,314. 57 UAVs for a total of 18,676. 2 cruise missiles for a total of 2,636. 119 vehicles for a total of 28,802. And 16 units of special equipment for a total of 3,620. Yeah, drones have replaced artillery shells. I wouldn't say they replaced ammo. Okay, I don't know what's going on with the chat, but I'm gonna catch up here. And okay, I understand the feeling, the need for feeling to wanting to do more. This stream was my response to that feeling of wanting to do more. You know, there's so many areas that you could do to raise awareness, help out. You know, go to the ZCU website, copy this sentence and post it to Twitter, X, or whatever. Because I don't do social media. I don't do Twitter. It's just, it consumes too much of your day. So you want to take this sentence, post it on social media, you'll start getting followers. All the power to you. You go right ahead. Take that idea. You know, this report that we see every day, this little infographic, that comes from the 8 a.m. update every day. Right there. 1,770 number of tanks, number of combat vehicles, artillery systems, drones, cruise missiles, cars, and special equipment. I mean, that is literally this right here. Every day, that information is gathered from here. Those graphics don't come out until this report comes out. So there you go. There's another Twitter post for you right there, that line. Post that on Facebook. Post both those on Facebook. There's so much stuff out there that's not being covered, that's not being brought to public attention. And every voice that we have putting this information out there for the public in general, even if it reaches one person, or let me rephrase that, even if it only reaches one person, that's one more person that's informed now that wasn't before. And I don't care what anybody ever has said, one person can make a difference. One person makes a difference all the time. Because it's one person that told you about this, and you told 5 of your friends about it, and your 5 friends told 5 of their own friends about it. That's word of mouth. That's how movements get started and people get informed. So spread the news. You want to use some of the information I go through? That's great. I'm not going to complain because I'm borrowing the information from the ZCU website. I'm borrowing stories from Google News with the Ukrainian topic. Deep State Map, they do great work. The air raid map. Go in and just cover the air raids. People aren't. The reason I'm doing it is I saw people weren't doing it. Maybe this is me inspiring you to do something that hasn't been done, and that inspires somebody else to do more, and that inspires somebody else to do more, and just keep that going. Heck, maybe if you're a native speaker in French or German, pull up all the information I just did and do a live stream in German on EU time. Spanish. If you know Spanish and can do this report in Spanish, you know how many Spanish speakers there are in this world? It is probably the most common spoken language in the Western world. I think only topped by Arabic. That's an easy thing to do. Here's all the information. Send me an email and I'll send you the links for all this. Copy me word for word, but translate it to Spanish. There you go. There's half the world that's going to be listening to you. It's the same problem I have, Andrew. I feel like I'm invading somebody else's space if I'm posting on their Discords. And I don't know enough programming to be able to program like bots and stuff to run my Discord. So I'm trying to learn it. But my brain's filling up quick, and I think I want to save more room for learning Ukrainian. But there's how many different languages in the world. Do the same report. Copy me word for word. I don't care. Just do the report in a different language so this information's out there in a different language. I know we got Aussies in here. You guys want to help out? Do this report on Aussie time, because I know that there's not much out there for Aussies on their time zone. There you go. There you got a whole country just waiting for somebody to step into that space. Okay, yeah, I would like more subs for the so we can get the emojis too. Some of those emojis are cute. Yeah, and now imagine if a Spanish speaker was on Telemundo talking about what's happening in Ukraine. How many of those votes would have switched over to Harris just because she supports Ukraine and Trump didn't? One person can make a huge difference. You just have to get out there and do it. I'm nervous as hell every day doing this stream. I sit there right before it starts and it's like, okay, butterflies in the stomach, and it's like, okay, I know I don't want to do it today. I don't want to. Oh, I need to do it today. I need to do it today. Yeah, I go through that whole setup every day. I step out of my comfort zone every day to do this. I am not an extrovert. I've always been like the wallflower at parties, and this is not me normally. I'm a shy person. Public speaking, oh God, I'd freeze in front of a classroom. So if I can do it, you guys can definitely do it. So if you want something to do, there you go. Do this report in different language. Heck, just translate this to your native language and post it on your Telegram or Twitter or whatever. There's a replacement out there for Twitter that just started up that has a heck of a lot more engagement. I forgot what the name of it is, but do it there. There's so much room to put out information that's going to reach somebody that doesn't like YouTube because of YouTube ads, or someone that doesn't like Twitter is going to be on Telegram. Someone that doesn't like Telegram is going to be on something else. Someone that's left Discord because of all the pings might catch your Telegram or your Twitter or whatever, but not going to be on Discord. The more people repeating and getting the information out there, the better. Go out and do it, guys. What's the worst that's going to happen? Someone's going to come here and say, "Oh, your voice sucks and you sound horrible." Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. So, I mean, it is what it is. I've grown a rather thick skin recently. I don't care what people say. It might hurt my feelings, but I'll get over it. So yeah, get out there, guys. Spread the information. And with that, I'm going to say good night. thank you everybody for coming. I appreciate you coming to the streams very much. I appreciate you supporting Ukraine even more. Stay safe, everybody. And of course, Razom Perimojamo. Together, we will win.
I'll write the map.
I hate when I do that. Sorry, I was just thinking of something when the outro was playing, and I'm going to bug you here for one more thing. So, some of you may know this movie, some of you may not. Pump up the volume. There's a line that he uses in here. You know, I flashed to it. At the end of the movie, he encourages other people to get out there and express themselves, like I just was doing for you guys. And at the end of his speech, he tells everybody, talk hard, everybody. Good night.